Hi, welcome to Embrace TV. My name is Kate Johnstone and I'm CEO of Embrace Holistic Services. Embrace is an interprofessional maternity education company. That means that we educate midwives, obstetricians, natural therapists, doulas on how to work together and how to better understand what the other person can offer a pregnant woman. We're also unique because we fund all of our work through research. So everything we do, we're collecting information to find out what works, what doesn't, and how we can do it better. So before we get on to talking about cervical dilation and what you can do differently, I'm going to tell you about the creative push. Now the creative push came together when a midwife, a creative thinking specialist, a public health expert, a political scientist all got into the room and talked about what they could bring to the table to help change the way we talk about childbirth in Australia. Because culture is complex and it's not a one-person solution and we all really need to be involved. And that's kind of a general theme that we have with all of our training in Embrace, is it's all about collaboration and it's all about getting the key players in the room to contribute to a positive solution. And what the creative push is really about is about helping you make the women you work with savvy activists for positive stories about birth. So we're going to forget about pounding the halls of Parliament, we're going to forget about writing letters to politicians, we're going to forget about all the really hard and boring stuff. We want women to be focused on the fun, positive, engaging side of pregnancy and childbirth and mothering, because that's the story they're going to tell their friends, and if we want to change a system, we've got to change the story. So in the creative push, we have a segment where we talk about empowering and disempowering language that we use in birth suites. And the group comes up with a whole range of examples of language that we use that might make a woman feel empowered and might make her feel disempowered. And I think this is really important because in the labour suite, women are in such a highly vulnerable and sensitive state that one word that we say to them can completely change their mindset and then change every decision they make after that. So it's really important that we look at what words we use and what effect that might have on women. One of the examples that always comes up in every session we run is the words "you're only," and those two words usually follow in a vaginal examination where they tell the woman you're only 3 to 4 centimetres or you're only 2 centimetres. And immediately the woman feels disheartened because she's been doing all this work and she's only a little way along the way. She's only 30% along her journey. Now what we really need to do is think about how we can transform this to make her feel empowered. Because usually there's a very good reason why she's only 3 to 4 centimetres, and we want to help her feel encouraged and like she can get to that 10 centimetre dilation. So, the big question, how on earth do we transform or reframe the way a woman thinks about dilation? Because for us as maternity care professionals, progress is a really important part of how we measure how a woman's doing with her labour and if we need to make any other decisions or look at any other avenues for supporting her. And so, how do we actually help her think a bit differently when she gets the news that she's only 3 to 4 centimetres? I've struggled with this question for the last few years as a doula. And what I found was that if we can help women understand the journey that their cervix undergoes as part of labour, we can help them think a little bit differently about their progress, the idea of progress. So let me explain what I mean by that. Instead of talking, we take 0 as being the point at which the cervix starts dilating. That's point 0. And then we start measuring what the movement it makes towards dilation. What I think we need to do is take point 0 as when the cervix is actually effaced. Because there's a lot of work that the body does to get from here to here before it even starts dilating. And we really need to help women understand that because some women spend quite a few days in early or spurious labour and their body's having one contraction every 10 minutes or one contraction every 15 minutes, but it's actually doing something in that time. It's going from effacement to get ready for dilation. So what I think we need to do, and what I do with my own clients, and I find it works really well, is I actually talk about a scale of 1 to 20. Not 1 to 10, but 1 to 20. And the first 10 is effacement. And I want them to understand that there's just as much work in effacement as there is in dilation. And when they get from 1 to 10, that's when they start dilating. 10 is the traditional 0. 10 is when they start dilating, and 10 to 20 is getting to full dilation. So when one of my women gets a vaginal examination in the birth suite and they say, you're only 3 centimetres, we turn to each other and say, isn't that amazing? I'm 13 centimetres. I'm 13 out of 20. I'm 70% of the way there rather than being 30%. And it gives her that sense of she's already over the hard bit and now it's just a downhill run till the full dilation. And I think that's a really good way of helping her view her progress in a completely different way and in a way that makes her feel like she's doing a really good job and she's nearly there.